We are going to install a new operating system, one that prioritizes repair over wear and tear. What you call aging is often just biological rust. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Modern society is engineered to rust you out. We are living in an environment that is hostile to human longevity. If you do what everyone else does, you get what everyone else gets. Accelerated decline. We are living in a world of default settings. Default setting. Sit all day until your hip flexors shorten and your glutes forget how to fire. Default setting. Eat processed sludge that spikes your insulin so often your cells stop listening. Default setting. Stress until your arteries harden and your blood pressure creates micro tears in your vascular system. If you do not intervene, if you do not manually override these settings, you are choosing decline by default. You are choosing to be the person who needs help getting out of a chair at 70. You are choosing to be the person who can't pick up their grandchild. Today, we are going to look at the 5 ways your body is currently rusting and the exact protocol to scrape that rust off. Can you carry 2 bags of mulch? Can you lift a suitcase overhead? That is the metric. But if you live the default life, office chair to car seat to sofa, that loss accelerates. You aren't just losing size, you are losing function. This isn't just about looking good in a t-shirt, it's about your metabolic engine. Muscle is where you dispose of blood sugar. It is the largest glucose sink in your body. When you lose muscle, you lose your body's spark plugs, your mitochondria. The data is terrifying. Research shows that for every extra hour you sit past the standard threshold, your all-cause mortality risk climbs. High sedentary time, we're talking 6 to 10 hours a day, is linked to a 20% higher risk of cardiovascular death. Your blood flow slows down. The sheer stress on your vessel walls drops, which signals your arteries to stiffen. You are literally turning to stone. Without intentional resistance, your engine rusts. Glucose has nowhere to go, so it stays in your blood, acting like sludge in the gears. You don't just get weaker, you become metabolically broken. This is the difference between being 80 and hiking, or being 80 and bedridden. The fix. You need to signal to your body that you are still under construction, not ready for demolition. First, the baseline, 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. This is non-negotiable. It keeps the fluids moving and the rust from settling. It activates the lipase enzymes that vacuum fat out of your bloodstream. And dessert? That's for special occasions, not a nightly ritual. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to stop actively poisoning yourself. When you do this, you spike your blood sugar rapidly. But the real damage happens quietly, over years. I call this the sugar glass effect. In medical terms, it's glycation. Sugar bonds to proteins in your body, your collagen, your blood vessels, your joints, and turns them from flexible rubber into brittle glass. These are called advanced glycation end products, or AGs. Appropriate acronym, right? They literally age you. This is why your skin sags. The collagen matrix has been shattered by sugar. This is why your arteries stiffen. The elastic walls have turned to glass. And if you're eating the default American diet, you are building a factory of visceral fat right around your organs. This fat isn't just storage, it's active. It pumps inflammatory chemicals called cytokines into your system 24/7. You are essentially marinating your organs in poison. When you eat naked carbs, you create an energy roller coaster. High spike, massive insulin dump, crash. That crash triggers hunger, so you eat again. It is a loop of exhaustion. Default setting number 3. Treating sleep as optional. There is a janitor in your brain. It's called the glymphatic system. For decades, we didn't know how the brain cleaned itself. Now we know. During the day, your brain creates metabolic waste, cellular trash, beta amyloid, tau proteins, the stuff linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. The only time the janitor comes out to sweep this trash away is during deep sleep. The brain cells literally shrink by 60% to allow cerebrospinal fluid to wash through the gaps. It is a nightly power wash. When you cut sleep to 5 or 6 hours, or when you drink alcohol before bed, you lock the janitor out. Alcohol might knock you out, but it sedates you. It doesn't let you sleep. It fragments your REM and deep cycles. The trash builds up. The inflammation rises. You wake up with a brain that is literally dirtier than when you went to sleep. This accumulation is slow. You don't feel it after one night. But after a decade of default sleep habits, that is when the fog sets in. That is when the keys get lost. That is when the names get forgotten. The fix. The 1-hour wind-down rule. In the last hour before sleep, the screens go off. The overhead lights go down. You stop feeding your brain data. No heavy meals within 3 hours of bed. No breaking news. Give the janitor a chance to work. If you control nothing else in your day, control the hour before you close your eyes. Do not let your world shrink. When you are constantly on, reacting to emails, traffic, news, you are bathing your vascular system in cortisol. It roughens the lining of your blood vessels, creating snag points for plaque to catch. Cortisol also mobilizes glucose. It thinks you are running from a tiger, so it dumps sugar into your blood for energy. But you aren't running. You are sitting in a meeting, so that sugar gets stored as visceral fat, specifically around the belly. Stress belly is real, and it is dangerous. Simultaneously, if you stop learning, if you stop using your brain for anything other than consumption, your neural pathways prune away. The hippocampus, your memory center, is highly sensitive to cortisol. It actually shrinks under the weight of chronic stress and lack of novelty. The fix. First, micro-recovery. You cannot eliminate stress, but you can stop the drip. 3 times a day, take a 3-minute break. Step outside. Look at the horizon. Breathe. Physiological sigh. Double inhale, long exhale. You are flushing the cortisol before it accumulates. I'll see you in the next one. The food industry, the tech industry, the entertainment industry, they are all betting against your longevity. But you have the manual override. Move with intention. Fuel, don't fill. Prioritize the repair cycle. Flush the stress. Challenge the mind. I don't want you to change everything today. That is a recipe for failure. I want you to pick one. Just one of these defaults. Override it for 7 days. If you're sedentary, hit 7,000 steps. If you're sleep deprived, enforce the wind down. If you're stressed, do the micro-recovery. See how you feel. Because looking good for your age is fine, but feeling capable, independent and dangerous well into your 80s,